Hi everyone, it's Jeff here from Avada. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at how to use the Avada Woo Sorting Element. By the end of this video you'll understand how to use and customize the Woo Sorting Element with your WooCommerce products. If you find this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay up to date with all new Avada videos. Alright, let's jump in. The Woo Sorting Element got a major update with Avada 7.15 with loads of new options, allowing for virtually endless customization. As you can see here, there is now a General tab, as well as a Sort, Count, and View tab and an Extras tab. Let's start on the General tab where you can customize the element as a whole. At the very top is a Link Post Card Archives element option. As the description says, here you can enter the CSS ID of the Postcard Archives element you want to link. If left empty, all Postcard Archives elements on the same page will be affected by the sorting. This is very useful if you happen to have more than one Postcard Archives element on the page. Here there is only one, so I can leave that empty. If you don't use postcards yet, you're missing out, but the Woo Sorting Element also works with the Woo Products Grid element. The next option is Sorting Elements, and here you can enable any of the three sections of the sorting element. You have to have at least one enabled, or all three will display, because if you disabled all three, there'd be no point in having the element at all. But if you just want to display certain types of sorting, this is fantastic. The next option is width/height. Here you can set the width or the height of the sorting element if you want. This might be useful if you have flex direction as a column, for example. Following this is the aforementioned Elements Flex Direction. Here you can display the sorting options in a row as it is here, or you can set it as a column, which would be great if you were adding it to a smaller column. Elements Justify Content follows this, and here you can set the element justification within the flexbox. You can justify it to the left, center, or right, or use space between, around, or space evenly. Lots of options there depending on your layout. The next option is Elements Align Items, and this is really useful if you're using column flex direction, and here you can align to the left, right, or center. Then there's an Elements Gap option. For rows you can set the width gap, and for columns you can set the height. The next option is Margin, which you set for the element as a whole. Now one important thing to note here is that with this option, as well as the previous 5 options, all have a responsive option, which means that if you want, you can set specific values for these options on all 3 screen sizes, giving you full flexibility with responsive layouts. Okay, following this is the usual Element Visibility option, where you can hide the element on specific screen sizes, and the CSS class and CSS ID options for further customization with CSS. Okay, following this there are 3 tabs for the 3 different sorting elements: Sort, Count, and View. Let's start with Sort. At the top we find Sort Options, and here you can choose which of the available sort options are displayed. Here they're all chosen. Layout is the next option, and you can choose between Drop Down and Select. Drop Down is the default, which looks like this, while Select looks like this and uses a real Select HTML field. I'll leave it on Drop Down. There is a Drop Down/Select Size for control over the width and height of the sorting box, and for the Drop Down layout there is both a full typography set and options for the button text color, background color, button border size, button border color, and the button border radius. For Select there is just a Select font size option. So the next common option is the Display Order button, which sorts the chosen view into ascending or descending. As the description notes, here you can choose if the order button should be displayed. If it is not displayed, but the price is one of the sorting options, the drop-down will display both low to high and high to low choices. If the Display Order button is displayed, there is also an Order button spacing option and an Order button font size option. The next tab is the Count tab. This controls the next section of the sorting element: how many products are displayed. Product Count Selection is the first option, and here it's set to the default value of 12. As the description notes, for best results it should equal the number of posts set in the Postcard Archives element. Again, there is a Layout option, and here you can also choose buttons, as well as Select and the default of Drop Down. Again, the following options will vary depending on what you select here, so you can style your selection. All the options from Drop Down/button typography and down are common to both buttons and drop downs, while again Select only has a few options. Okay, let's move to the View tab. There is the Display Button Label option at the top, which is off by default, and under that is the View Buttons option. Here you select which views are available. The options are General Grid, 2, 3 and 4 columns, and List. Just remember that for List you would also need a specific postcard selected in the Postcard List View option of the Postcard Archives element. Now for this example, I only have General Grid and List selected, as more than 2 columns doesn't look so good with this postcard. As it says in the option description, you can either use the General Grid button to get what is set in your connected product element, or use the Columns button to adjust the product element columns accordingly. I'll leave General Grid displayed so that if they go to List they can come back to Grid View. After this is a button layout option where you can make the buttons connected or separated, as well as set their size, font size, text color, background color, border size, border color, and border radius. With all these options you can make your sorting buttons look however you want. Okay, the final tab on this element is of course the Extras tab, where you can set conditional rendering for the element. Okay, that's the versatile Woo sorting element. What I like best about this element is that it's pretty much perfect as it is with its defaults, but if you want to customize it, you have a wealth of possibilities. And that's it for this video. If you found it helpful, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Avada tutorials and deep dives. And if you have any questions or need help, feel free to create a support ticket. Our team is always ready to help. As always, thank you for choosing Avada.